Hi, Jim. Happy birthday, John and Alexis checking in. We're so happy to be here for your 80th birthday. I'm going to let John take over.
We're so happy to be here celebrating Jimmy's 90th birthday.
No, 80th.
90th, forget it.
Met him a long time ago. 19.
He was still single. And then we went into the army. And when we came back, we met again. I had a wife and he had a wife.
I'm Mickey Banta.
I'm Don Banta. I'm Jim's old law partner. It's been, I don't know, about 40 years. And Jimmy's ambition in life was to move to the east side because the richer Irish lived on the east side rather than the west side. Anyway, when the service came out, Jim joined the country club on far south. I can't remember the name of it. And he always used that address for his address because his home address was still on the south side and on the west side. Anyway, I knew his mother and his dad very well. And of course, Jimmy's real name is Little Lester. Although he goes by Jimmy Cox, he's Little Lester Cox. Since Jim and I started together. And I keep in touch with him, in connection with all of his arbitration. He's about as active an arbitrator as there is.
Chuck Neighbor, and I've known Jim for most of a lifetime. He brought a farm next to us in Wisconsin for his weekend retreats, and the kids were all very small at that time, different things. But Jim used to come up and he had this idea that he wanted to farm some also, and actually brought some farm equipment. But from time to time he'd get conundred with how it was supposed to work, or maybe it didn't work well. And then on occasion he would break something or get himself in a pickle. And the lines I always remember about Jim the best were, when I'd help him straighten it out, is, "Don't tell Franny, she'll get mad at me because I wasn't supposed to do that." So that's some of my memories of Jim. That and
I remember
talking to him. He was kind of a mentor to me at that time. So.
I remember when they would plan their farm day and the pigs would get loose and run up the whole front yard. So it never failed whenever they were having company come to the farm.
Something
the pigs would get
go wrong.
loose and the sheep would get loose or something bad would happen.
I was doing all his work. Everywhere he moved, I fixed up the apartment and the house. And we're still together.
He does our taxes, and he gives us nice suggestions. And every once in a while, he likes my cooking. He comes to our house.
I think very highly of him, and he's a Catholic, and I'm a Catholic. And, so I valued his friendship, and I knew he'd be a great godfather.
Mark and Nancy McGowan.
Hello, yeah. Happy birthday,
Happy-
Jim.
yep.
Congratulations.
We've known Jim since I went to work for Nathan Banta and Cox in 1981 or 2.
Yes.
81
81.
and
80.
81.
Okay.
And Jim made it the practice of law fun, which is a hard thing to do for a lot of. In most law firms, it isn't much fun at all. We ended up. It turned out that we were living about 2 blocks away from the Coxes in Evanston when I was hired, and
That's
so
right.
Elizabeth and especially Rachel ended up being our key babysitters
Right.
when our kids were first born.
And one of my favorite memories of the Cox family is we were invited to Farm Day one year.
A couple of times.
A couple of times, yes. The first time was when Mark was first with Nathan Banta and Cox, and we went up, and I thought, oh, this is going to be a really posh I have to dress up in country clothes to go to the farm day, and it turned out it was a real farm with real livestock and real fields and everything else. We had a great time, and then a few years later we went back to farm day with our daughter and our son. Our son was a toddler, but our daughter got to ride the ponies, and she had a great time and reconnected with Rachel at that time. So Farm Day will always remain a favorite of mine.
And it was something of a legend around the office that on Monday mornings Jim would often come into the office straight from the farm, often with manure and things on his shoes, evidencing that he had been at the farm all
Really
weekend.
had been.
And in his inimitable way it was clear that he had come straight from the farm.
Eileen and Bud Whalen, and we just loved.
We had
Jim
a
and
great
the
time at your party. I hope we don't have to wait another 80 years for the next party.
No, he has longevity in his family, and he's great. He was on tonight with his microphone. That's what he should have done, but he's doing that now with being a lawyer. So we enjoyed the party, great guy, and thanks for inviting us.